All right, good afternoon, good morning. I guess it's still morning time here. I was going to show everybody a little bit more about the Respondus lockdown browser and monitor. If you go to your particular Blackboard course page, and it doesn't matter whether you're in 1101, 1102, American Lit, World Lit, Technical Writing, 1010, 90, whatever the case may be, if you look on this particular menu bar and go down to where it says Respondus, Lockdown, Browser, and Menu or Monitor, you click on that and it takes you to a page that looks like this. Um, Now, there's going to be a couple things that you probably want to start with first. One is this introduction video. I'm going to click on that. We're going to watch this together.
Once everything's perfectly organized, I'll start working on my thesis.
Grammarly will ensure you feel.
If you're watching this, you're probably required to use Respondus Lockdown Browser for an online exam. Lockdown Browser is a different kind of browser. While taking an exam, you can't print, use other applications, visit other websites, you can't even search the internet for answers. I know, it takes all the fun out of online tests. But here's the good thing. Your classmates can't do those things either, so it's just your brain against their brain. A level playing field. Your instructor will provide a link for downloading and installing Lockdown Browser. When you start it, Lockdown Browser might warn you that certain applications have to be shut down before you continue, like screen capture programs, instant messaging, Skype, pretty much anything that lets you communicate with the outside world. You can close those applications yourself or let Lockdown Browser do it for you. The browser will then go to the login page for your online course. Log in like you normally do and locate the exam that requires Lockdown Browser. Remember, after the exam starts, you won't be able to do other things on your computer until you finish the exam. When you're done, just exit Lockdown Browser and you'll be all set. Your instructor might also require you to use a webcam with Lockdown Browser. This part is sometimes called Respondus Monitor, but just think of it as a webcam for Lockdown Browser. The nice thing about the webcam feature is that it lets you take exams from the comfort of your own home or from the other side of the world. Plus, you can take exams at any time of the day or night. The webcam will record what happens during the exam and the instructor can review it afterward. So, if an exam requires you to use Lockdown Browser and a webcam, just start Lockdown Browser and locate the exam. Before the exam starts, you'll be guided through a check to make sure your webcam is running properly. Additional steps might also be required by your instructor, such as showing your ID or taking a video of your surrounding area. Once the exam starts, don't give the webcam another thought. Just focus on that test you stayed up all night studying for. When the exam is finished and you submit it for grading, the webcam will shut off automatically. That's pretty much it. Now, take a deep breath and good luck.
All right, so yes, you could go back and kind of watch that video as many times as you think that you may need. Would want to definitely, look at that just to make sure that you have sort of a general idea about what Respondus monitoring is, especially if this is your first time taking an online Respondus test. Generally, if you are 100% online in your particular course, and it doesn't matter whether it's math, English, science, you're going to have to do a Respondus event at some point before the semester is over. A lot of instructors, they either do it for the final exam or midterm. Sometimes they do it, they may do it, between those two dates or maybe before the midterm. I just find it's a little easier to do as the midterm. Download instructions and videos. You can click here. Here's one about Chromebook. So let's look at that real quick. Each one of these are a little different.
My hand wet, and then I'm gonna slam it on this piece of paper. Ouch!
Installing Lockdown Browser on Chromebook. To install Lockdown Browser, start the Chrome browser on your Chromebook. Go to the unique download link provided by your school. You will be redirected to the Chrome Web Store, where you can add the extension to the Chrome browser. And that's it. You're now ready to take your exam in your school's LMS with the Lockdown browser for Chromebook.
All right. So that one book, and you definitely need to download the right one, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to take the exam on your device if you don't download it with the right device. So let's go and look at the next particular device that you can kind of use. This one is with Windows. Let's look at this video.
To install Lockdown Browser for Windows, first be sure you're logged into your Windows system as a local administrator with full rights. Then go to the unique download link for your institution, which is provided by your instructor or posted inside your online course. When you reach the download screen, look in the middle section to verify the browser has identified your device type and operating system. You may want to review the video on the left that explains the basic features of Lockdown Browser and why your institution is requiring it for your exams. After viewing the video, click the Install Now button. The browser will start to install to your device. Once it is downloaded, click to open the installation file. Windows will then prompt you to allow the program. Select Yes. And then the first step is to choose a setup language. In this example, we'll choose English and click Next. You'll be prompted to accept the license agreement. Click Next, and after a brief period, you'll be prompted to finish the installation. So click Finish. When the installation is complete, an icon will appear on the Windows desktop. Be sure to follow the directions provided by your instructor to start your test that requires Lockdown Browser, either by using this desktop icon or launching the browser from within your online course.
So at this point, you've seen how to download it for Chromebook and for Windows. Let's look at for Mac. You also have it here. You can download, click on there. It's going to take you, that'll help you download it. Let me see what this talks about real quick.
If you're watching this video, you're probably required to use Lockdown Browser or Respondus Monitor for an online exam. Lockdown Browser is a different kind of browser. While taking an exam, you can't print, use other applications, visit other websites. You can't even search the internet for answers. I know, it takes all the fun out of online tests. But here's the good thing. Your classmates can't do those things either, so it's a level playing field for everyone. To use Lockdown Browser for an exam, you'll log into your online course as usual and navigate to the test. If Lockdown Browser hasn't yet been installed to the device, you're prompted to do that step. Otherwise, Lockdown Browser will start automatically or will indicate that you need to start it manually. Upon startup, Lockdown Browser might warn you that certain applications have to be shut down before you continue, like screen capture programs, instant messaging, or pretty much anything that lets you communicate with the outside world. After this quick step, your test will begin. Remember, after the exam starts, you won't be able to do other things on your device until you submit the exam for grading. When you're done, just exit Lockdown Browser and you'll be all set. Your instructor might also require you to use a webcam with Lockdown Browser. This is often called Respondus Monitor, but you can just think of it as a webcam for Lockdown Browser. The nice thing about the webcam feature is that it allows exams to occur from the comfort of your home or from the other side of the world. Plus, exams can be delivered at any time of the day or night without any advanced scheduling required. The webcam will record what happens during the exam, and the instructor can review it afterward. Remember, no one is watching you in real time, and only your instructor will view the proctoring results and video later. If an exam requires you to use Lockdown Browser and a webcam, just locate the exam in your learning system and select it. Before the exam starts, you'll be guided through a check to make sure your webcam is running properly. Additional steps might also be required by your instructor, such as showing your ID or taking a video of your surrounding area. If you encounter any issues, you can use the built-in troubleshooting or start a live chat session with one of our super friendly support agents. No bots here. Once the exam starts, don't give the webcam another thought. Just focus on that test you stayed up all night studying for. When the exam is finished and you submit it for grading, the webcam will shut off automatically. That's pretty much it. Now, take a deep breath and good luck.
So in a lot of ways, that was sort of like that first video I showed you, just different graphics. And sometimes it's best to see these and hear these things a few times, especially if this is your first time. But again, if you're, for Windows, this is what you want to download. For the Mac, let's see here. Going back for the Mac, it's going to probably knock us back out, but we will come back in. Let's see. So again, where I found this, you go here, lockdown browser. We're in this section. The Mac is right here. You would use this to download. The video is probably going to be the same, but again, if you're using Mac, you would go there. Let me see if it let me go back without kicking me out. It's probably going to kick me back out again. Let's see what this other video. It's really it should be pretty self-explanatory once you watch these videos and read some of this stuff, the instructions. Let's see what this is probably going to run through the video for the Mac.
To install Lockdown Browser to a Mac computer, start any web browser and go to the unique download link provided to your institution. When you first see this web page, you might want to review the brief video on the left, which explains the basic features of Lockdown Browser and why your institution is requiring it for your exams. After viewing the video, click the Install Now button. The browser will start the download to your computer. Once the file has downloaded, go to the Downloads folder to start the Lockdown Browser installer. Allow the program to run and click Continue. You will then be prompted to accept the license agreement. Click Continue and agree, and then choose Install for all users of this computer. Then click Install. Enter your administrator password for your computer as required to install the software. When the installation is successful, you can click Close and either keep the installer file or move it to the trash. The Lockdown Browser app will be in the Applications folder. Depending on your institution's learning system, you might be instructed to manually start the browser, or you can launch Lockdown Browser automatically from a standard browser to start your test.
So again, that's how you would do Lockdown Browser as it relates to the installation process with a Mac computer, MacBook, Chromebook, and Windows. As you notice, those are really the three things that's going to work really well: Chromebook, Windows, or Mac. You can't really do the Respondus deal with any type of cell phone. You can't really do it really well with any type of iPad. I wouldn't even try to download any of that. You need to have either a Chromebook, a Mac, or a Windows, whether that's a home computer or like a desktop or a tablet. Anything else, it's probably not going to work out too well for you, and I wouldn't really even attempt to try it. If you go back, you have this Respondus support. These are some links. You can find some more information. With this live guide, you can click there, some additional videos, instructions. Uh, you can come to any Coastal Pines Technical Library between the hours of 7:30 and 6, Monday through Thursday, for in-person help with Respondus. If you need assistance, you have this student support link. Type a keyword into the search box to find the articles related to your issue. And trouble with the Proctor event, contact your Respondus support. So you want to use these links if you're having issues on your end with the actual Respondus, because like I said in previous emails, I really have no control of what goes on your computer. So if you have, not so good internet connections, if your computer is very old, if it's slow, if there's other things going on, meaning viruses, or if it's going through an update cycle, you want to make sure that your computer is in tip-top shape before you even start thinking about taking Respondus. Make sure that all the updates are done, or at least you can postpone them until after you take, um, maybe have them postponed until after you take the exam, or you can go ahead and do it before. Because once you start the exam, because the college pays per student, it's hard for me to restart, reset, delete all that stuff. So you want to make sure that you're able to sit and type for at least 1 hour. If you're in my 1101 class, you're doing a 2 to 3 page essay. If you're in my 1102 class, you have 10 questions that relate to the poetry that we've been reading and discussing in week 6 through 8. You can, in both classes, you can use notes. As it relates to my 1101, you have the opportunity to have an outline for your essay and note cards. For my 1102 class, you can use notes. You probably want to print out the poems that we looked at in week 6, 7, and 8. There is those study guides that we've had during those weeks. You might want to print those out, because once you're actually locked down in the browser, it really means that you're locked down, meaning you can't go anywhere on the internet. You can't go to any other programs on your computer, meaning you can't pull up Microsoft Word. You're pretty much going to be stuck for 1 hour at that particular testing screen. So if you do have issues with the actual test Respondus, you need to look at the student support link or the Respondus support link. If it asks for a password, like I said in the previous video, I don't know the password. The password's already predetermined by the program. It changes each time a student logs in correctly, because what's going to happen is, if you download, going back to what I showed you earlier, if you download it to your proper device, meaning if you're using a Mac, you need to download the Mac version, not the Chromebook version, because you're not using a Chromebook. So if you mix match, it's not going to work. If you don't download the program to the right device, or if you don't download it at all, it's going to prompt for a password, which I just said, I don't know it. So asking me is going to be a waste of time, because it changes so much based on the student per program. If you download and do everything correctly on your end, it's going to bypass that whole deal with asking for a password. That lets you know that you did it correctly, because it's going to take you to the port where you're going to have to show your ID and take a current picture of yourself before moving on. So again, if it asks for a password, you did something wrong on your end. I don't know the password. So asking me, I'm just going to be like, well, I don't know. I don't know it. I don't have it. You're going to have to go back and troubleshoot, what you did wrong on your end. Again, internet, computer issues, I have no control over. So if you start the test and your lights go out for whatever reason, I don't know what to tell you, because you didn't save your work, and there's not much I can do at that point. So if you think that you're going to have some faulty equipment, meaning you don't have a microphone or a webcam, your internet goes out depending on which way the wind blows, your computer may or may not have an update. If you don't trust your stuff, then you need to go to the closest Coastal Pines Technical College campus, use their library, use their testing center between the hours of 7:30 and 6, Monday through Thursday, before this thing is due. Otherwise, if you trust your equipment and trust your stuff, then obviously you can do this at the comfort of your own home, pretty much any 24 hours a day, depending on when you want to take it, all the way up to 11:59 on Halloween, which is a Thursday. I would recommend if you already made up the makeup work that was related to the two storms, I would go ahead and get this midterm knocked out because we're still rolling with the semester, meaning there's still week 9, week 10, week 11 stuff that we got to do. There's still due dates for those particular assignments, which I would, concentrate on once you start getting ahead or getting caught up so you're not getting bogged down again as we get close to, Halloween for one. The Halloween due date is really for my 1101 course. My 1102, they have the deadline of, I believe, this Sunday, the 20th, because they also have a poetry essay due by Halloween for that particular class. So you do have a little bit of time, but you don't have a whole lot of time. And again, the Respondus is just one of those things I can't really extend. We have to do it. Otherwise, it's going to cram us up if we have to keep, trying to postpone this stuff. We still have really the whole month of November, which is not a whole lot because we do have Thanksgiving that I believe starts on the 26th, which is a Tuesday. So you roughly have 3 weeks in November, and then you have one full week of December and a couple of days in December, and that's it. So if you look at it, we're week 9, so 1, 2, 3. Count this week, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have about 7 weeks left. 7 weeks and 2 days, maybe. So we don't have a whole lot of time, and we still have a good bit of the semester to accomplish and to talk about, discuss, research papers, that type of deal. I hope this helped. Good luck on getting the storm-related makeup work in on time. Good luck on the actual midterm exam, whether you're doing the essay portion or if you're doing the 10 questions with the poetry, which is mainly the 1102 course. And let me know if you have any questions or concerns. But again, like I said, if it's related, because really the only control I have with Respondus is uploading the exam and then downloading or reading and grading your exam. If something goes on with the exam, it's basically out of my hands. So it has to do something with your computer, your internet, your web mic, your webcam on your side. That's what I said. If your stuff is unstable or old or you don't trust it, then I would make, accommodations. I would make a schedule to get to a college campus so you can take this before the due date. Because this exam it's a midterm exam, so it's going to weigh pretty heavily moving forward as it relates to your overall semester grade. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a great rest of your week 9. I hope week 10 is next week is decent and well. And I hope everybody, overall is getting caught back up, regrouping, power, the internet, things are coming back together. Hopefully you didn't lose a lot of property or damage with the last 2 storms. And maybe, at least for this week, we won't have to worry about any storms, just worry about some cooler and nice weather. Otherwise, I will probably have a video coming up soon as it relates to some of the weeks ahead. Again, have a great Tuesday, and I will talk to you soon.